Hey, Stuart here. Just a quick video to run you through our latest update. And the first thing we're going to look at is our new integration with BillPass. So there is a second video as well that will go into the more details around this new integration with BillPass. But what I want to show you is you're just going to have a new button here where you've got import from BillPass. You can see I've already connected. Please check out the video that'll walk you through the actual connection process. But you've got this import from BillPass. So what we've got is this ability now to import contacts from BillPass. And what it'll do, it'll bring in the contacts and their insurance information. So all you're doing here is clicking import from BillPass. It'll check BillPass itself for any new contacts, double check against Styck to make sure there's no duplicates. And there you go. They'll find any new contacts. And you simply will be able to import them in. Now that segues into our next thing that we've done as part of this update. And if I scroll down to one of these contacts here, if I click on that contact now, you'll see I've now got this insurance docs tab. So for contacts within Styck, we can now enter insurance information against them. We've got an ability to either drop in a file or upload one, select a policy type, whether it's like a public liability, work cover, or something else. Put in some policy details there, including the amounts, the expiry dates, and add the insurance. Now, this information will come across from BillPass. So if you've got insurances against a company in BillPass, that will come through as part of that integration. But you can also just add insurance documentation here yourself. You'll see them listed below as well, and you'll see whether they're current. And you'll even be able to view that. So you can click on that open PDF and view that particular insurance document. So the next thing I want to show you is actually under the communications menu in the template screen. So this is where you can set up templates for your RFIs or other communication types. But what we can now do, we're going to click on new template, is I actually got two tabs there. There's client or subcontractor, but we don't do this communication type. You'll see that I've got variation as an option now. So when you're doing this, you can set up like a subject line and a communication body to use as a default template for either a client or a subcontractor variation, just as a bit of a shortcut. And so just to show you what that looks like there, when you come under variations here and you go new variation, you'll have a use template there. And if you click on that use template, you might have some different options there. And if you click on use template, what it does, it just starts to fill in that information for you just to save a bit of time. Now our next change is actually relevant to the variations as well. It is this variation summary tab. So we have a new tab in the variations area. What this does, it gives a list of all our variations so we can see the statuses, the numbers, the details of these variations. And then beside that, what we've got here is the variation amounts, any associated variations, purchases, labor, a total cost and margin percentage. But what's happening here is we're able to now link costs to a variation itself so we can understand the actual margin we're now making on variations. So, if you've got a client variation, you will now be able to link a purchase order or a subcontractor variation or labor costs to that, and that will give you that variation result. And now to show you how that actually works is if I click on new variation here and I'm doing a subcontractor variation, when I go down and use this variation breakdown, I'll have a variation drop down. When I select the variation there, that there will link that cost to the variation there. So that's a list of client variations. So if I'm breaking down the cost of the subcontractor variation, I can link that too. And that's where it goes into that summary. Likewise, that is exactly the same process for purchase orders. So when I'm in purchase orders now and I do a new purchase order, when I use the order breakdown here, I've got that variation drop down there as well. Also available in the invoices screen. So if I'm entering an invoice without a purchase order being created first, I can do that as well. And also under labor. So when I'm entering a new timesheet here, I've got my timesheet breakdown. I've got that variation drop down. That's where I can do that. So I associate that labor costs to that particular variation as well. So that's going back to that report there. That is how that is working. So when you're doing it's like committed costs going in there. So it doesn't have to be actuals. It can just be committed. but it's going to give you that result of the variation. So we can say we're expecting a variation to make this amount, but now we can actually say, well, what did it actually make? So staying with new reporting screens, under our financials area here, we've got a new page called company retentions. So this screen here will now list all the retentions company-wide across all your projects. So it's basically a one-stop shop for all your retentions. What you're able to do there is work on these tabs here. You've got the client side and the subcontractor side, and it will just show you the retention held, what's been released, the retention balance, the details of the first release, and the details of the second release. And then you've got some filter options here. So you can filter by job status there. So you might be able to filter by liability period jobs. You've got filter by company. So you'll be able to focus on an individual to work out how much retention they're either held or what you're holding, like business wide rather than just on a per project basis. And then you've also got a date range. So you'll be able to filter this page there based on that, on date range. So really handy screen there where you'll be able to see all your retentions across the entire business. Now, to give access to the retention reporting screen, you're going to go to company and users here. And in the company and users, just under your name in the settings area, essentially just select the person you want, scroll down, and you'll find a tick box there down there for the financials company retentions. Now, while I'm here, I just want to show you another added feature as well, which is we have these report settings options. And this is where you can either give or remove access. And we've got one there for the financials. We also have one there for the claims, for the progress claims, change claim settings. What you're doing there is selecting whether a user can access the claim settings or the reporting settings. And those claim settings is where you choose what status of variation appears in a progress claim, or for the report settings to be able to what information appears in a report. So you'll be able to control those elements. Going back to the financials, just under this company financials screen now, I just want to show you we have a new code, new filter option, which is regarding income codes. So there's filter by code. So when you select that, what you're able to do there is choose the income codes that the projects have. When you do the setup of a project, you select the income code, you'll be able to filter these jobs based on that. So that means if you're working with divisions or something like that, you'll be able to report that way. And finally, as part of this update that I'd like to show you is we now have like a help button in certain places in the software. So we're just rolling this out. We've got one on the dashboard. There's one in contacts and there's one in invoices as well. What it is just if you click on that help guide, it just opens a panel, and we've just got a few videos that will give a walkthrough of the screens. So we are rolling these out system-wide. This is the first release of those. So please, if you need a hand with any of the software, you do have this help option that you'll find around the place. But as always, if you need help, feel free to reach out as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll speak to you soon.